Okay, well, cryptos may be lacking inspiration, but in this live stream, we're going to show you some action that's happening across markets. So it shows that there's still plenty of opportunities elsewhere if you know just where to look. Hello, and welcome to this live stream by Bybit Learn. My name is Han Tan. I'm the Chief Market Analyst. So let's get right to it, to the charts that you know and love. Let's start with the crowd favorite, which is gold. How about this? So gold has been popping up here today, trying again to really break above this 4350 region. It has been trying to do that since last week, since last Friday, and tried again on Monday, Tuesday. Now, as we speak in this live stream, it's doing that right now. So we'll see, right, whether it can conquer not just 4350, but then ultimately set a new record high this week. Now, this is a possibility we had highlighted already since last Friday. Don't believe me? Check it out. In the name of transparency, we have all of these live streams published and archived on YouTube and also on X. Our YouTube channel can be found by searching for Bybit Learn Official. Again, that's Bybit Learn Official, or you can find us on X at Bybit_learn. All right. So, in fact, I will leave this gold chart up while you guys check it out. This is a live chart here while I make sure that we are indeed streaming on both platforms currently. Yes, we are live on YouTube, and um, feel free to post any questions, comments, or thoughts you may have, assets or charts that you want me to look at, and maybe do some quick on the fly analysis. Now, to be clear, none of this is financial advice, so let's be very, very clear about that. But still, happy to share some thoughts and insights into what's happening across asset classes, be it crypto, gold, stocks, currencies, you name it. Okay. And of course, I'll show you some more charts in just a bit. Just making sure that we are indeed streaming on X as well. Give me a second here, folks. Looks like we are. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Okay. We are live on YouTube and also on X at Bybit_learn. In fact, let me kind of try and actually pull up those handles for you there. But okay, we'll do that in just a bit. Just want to continue with this live stream. Yes, we are live on X, and yes, we are live on YouTube. Thank you so much. Okay, cool. So gold prices right now, punching up less or just about $50, or to be more precise, $35 or so away, $35, $36 away from hitting a new record high. The record high all the way back here around mid-October. Since then, it dipped below 4,000. Those who bought it here was, clearly that buy the dip action has been rewarded. Right now, we could see before the end of this week whether there is a new record high for gold prices. Now, a big event is set to happen tomorrow, December 18th. This is the US CPI, which is Consumer Price Index, which is just a fancy way of saying this is the US inflation data. Very, very important across markets. Having said that, right, there are some corners of the markets that said, look, after the non-farm payrolls, which was the jobs data that we had yesterday, and if again, we had a live viewing as that data dropped yesterday, the non-farm payrolls, and markets didn't really budge much, right? Because markets are aware that some of this data could be a bit dated. Right, they were delayed because of the U.S. government shutdown. So markets didn't react too much to it. So maybe that's the thinking going into tomorrow's CPI data on Thursday, December 18th. But I mean, to be clear, nobody knows for sure, right? So at least we are doing our job here at Bybit Learn to keep you informed, and you watching right now, kudos to you. You clearly are doing your homework to make sure you are up to date. So don't be surprised if there's big moves tomorrow, although I wouldn't be surprised if there's not much of a move tomorrow because this data is a bit dated, but still we have to pay attention to it. So tomorrow's live stream will actually begin an hour earlier. So instead of the usual 2 p.m. GMT time that we start, it will instead be at 1 p.m. GMT time, because for that half an hour, right, from 1 p.m. GMT tomorrow, till 1:30. You've got not just the US CPI data, but you've also got some big central bank announcements, not the Fed, but the ECB, that's the European Central Bank, and the Bank of England, which is the BOE. All right. And I've written all about it in our Daily Bits article for today, and I'll show you how to get to it right now. So if you head on down to bybit.com, right? Let me zoom in a little bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You'll see the learn. Oh, too much. 4. Okay. You'll see the learn tab across the top there. Again, the bybit.com. See learn. Click on Bybit Learn, and you will notice how the URL changes to learn.bybit.com. Okay. Then once you get here, you can scroll down and click on analysis right here, and then scroll down until you see daily bits. Okay. Now, for those of you who are following along on the Bybit app, uh, how you get to the learn section is first you go to the top left hand corner, click on your account icon, click on it, and look for services. And under services, there's learn. So you click on the learn icon, and then you'll get to this same page that looks like this as well. Scroll down till you see analysis, click on it, and then you can scroll down till you get to daily bits. Okay, so that's today's article. Not really much happening for cryptos today, but again, plenty more happening elsewhere, right? So I'm going to show you what to look out for. So this was I started with a quick recap of the and I'll show you how you can get more points in just a bit. But yeah, a quick recap of yesterday's non-farm payrolls numbers. You can go check that out yourself. And then more importantly, all right, we're going to look ahead to Thursday's events. And so these are the ones I'm talking about right here. Let me zoom in a little bit more so hopefully you can see it. There we go. Okay, right, you got the Bank of England at 12 p.m. UTC. Fine, that's going to be before our live stream, which starts at 1 p.m. tomorrow, UTC, GMT. Then you've got the ECB rate decision due 1:15, so 15 minutes after we start tomorrow's live stream. And then you've got the CPI, aka inflation, out of the world's biggest economy, that's due at 1:30. And same like yesterday for the jobs report, we'll do it for the inflation report tomorrow, in that we'll keep the charts up and show you how markets react. Okay. Again, if you want to do a recap, you can find out why these jobs data and inflation data is so important to traders, investors, as they are released every month, because the world's most important central bank, aka the Federal Reserve, aka the Fed, they use this data to then decide what they should do with interest rates in the world's biggest economy, in the US, right? So the idea that if they can lower interest rates again, just like they've done already 3 times this year, then stocks, gold, and even cryptos could potentially find some joy and move higher, okay, on the back of that. But of course, that's the jam-packed schedule that we have for tomorrow, so make sure you do not miss out. Live stream starts at 1 p.m. on tomorrow's special live stream, 1 p.m. UTC. Okay, so with that said, those of you just joining right now, welcome. This is an asset to watch. I highlighted Euro GBP, right? We had highlighted this since last Friday. Don't believe me? Check it out. And we had drawn the targets already since last Friday. So you can hold me accountable. We have them all on YouTube and also on X at bybit_learn, right? So make sure you check it out there. That in that live stream from last Friday, we had already drawn those lines, 0.884 to the upside or 0.87 to the downside, and we'll show you what the chart looks like in just a bit. Okay, but tell you what, let me just do some quick text reminders here first. Yep, so YouTube, it's Bybit Learn Official. I'm just typing out the our social handles. Yeah, okay, cool. So I'll just show you guys this. All right, so those are our handles there. So search for Bybit Learn Official on YouTube, or on X, it's at Bybit_learn. Okay, cool. All right, so we're going to look at Euro GBP in just a bit, and we'll pay especially close attention tomorrow. We had some event already today out of the UK with the UK inflation data coming in lower than expected. So that's why you had this weakening British pound. The euro strengthened, hence Euro GBP going up. I'll repeat this when we show the chart, okay? There's something to look out for. And like I showed you at the start of this live stream, of course, we're going to ask the question whether gold can hit a new record high this week. We'll see if the CPI figures tomorrow can actually produce the kind of jolt that can send gold up to the record high. Long story short, you need to see lower than expected inflation numbers tomorrow in order for gold to actually have the reasoning, the fundamental reason why it should keep going higher, okay, and potentially hit a new record high. It's something that we had highlighted even from last Friday, so go check it out, okay? Cool. All right, so that's the article. Again, head on down to learn.bybit.com, right? And then you can click on blog and click on daily bits, or you can just scroll down till you see analysis and go click on the article there. That's the one just published today. Make sure you get a heads up before tomorrow's jam-packed events, okay? Coming back to the charts here. Okay, so let's take a quick look at Bitcoin. Yeah, I got to zoom back out because I zoomed in for an article, right? So yeah, Bitcoin really, just kind of moving sideways really since the final week of, or the final part of November, right? So since that big drop here on November 21st, trying to build a series of higher lows, but that trend line was broken over the past or this week, right? So with the 21-day simple moving average previously being support, and when I say support, just think of like a floor. Prices hit it and then bounce up, hit it, bounce up. Did it for a few days. Again, this is the 1 day time frame, yeah, for these candlestick charts. That means each of these bars represents Bitcoin or the asset that you choose, the chart that you choose, how that asset's price performed in 1 day. You can change it down to 1 minute if you want to, all the way up to 1 month, okay, in the top left-hand corner. For those of you using the Bybit app, you can change the time frame for your candlestick charts on the right side. Just look for the settings tab and you can find it there, okay? So yeah, Bitcoin and really most cryptos, most major cryptos, just kind of moving sideways, just lacking inspiration. And we'll tell you more about how things could be heating up in the lead up to January 15th. We'll do that possibly when we get closer to the day next year, right? So that's how Bitcoin is doing right now. We look at some other asset classes like S&P 500, right? So this is called the SP 500 within the Bybit universe, finding support at the 21-day simple moving average. This is a widely followed technical indicator here, the SMA, simple moving average. You've got the 50-day, 100-day, 200-day. That's the textbook, benchmarks. But then you can go further down to 21-day, even 9 to 14 days if you want to. But ultimately, whether you can see that pattern right now. So at least for now, from yesterday till today, you are finding support for the SP 500 support. Again, think of floor bounce up, right? Again, today I tried to go below, but I came back up. Finding support at that 21-day simple moving average. Okay, Nasdaq similarly, I think it's more to the downside resistance. So earlier we spoke about support. Now there's resistance. Resistance, think of a ceiling, right, where prices hit it and it comes back down. So the 21-day and 50-day simple moving averages both convening or converging here, right, to offer initial support from last week before finally breaking down on yesterday and then now acting as resistance. Yeah, so you got these two widely followed technical indicators that are now preventing the Nasdaq 100 index for pushing higher. Now, for those of you who are not familiar, when I say an index, just think of a way to measure something, okay? So earlier we mentioned consumer price index. The index measures consumer prices or the change in consumer prices. So that is just inflation, right? How much more consumers are paying, inflation. So in this case, the Nasdaq 100 or the S&P 500, these are stock indices, which means they measure a group of stocks, right? So in the S&P 500, that group has 500 industry leading names across the US stock market. We're talking, Apple, Tesla, Nvidia, Google, Meta, Microsoft, JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, ExxonMobil, right? All these big names that are leading their respective industries, all in that group, and is measured by one simple index called the S&P 500. Arguably the most popular way to answer the question, well, how are US stock markets doing right now? Well, right now, it's trying to find support at the 21-day simple moving average and trying to climb back higher. Okay, that we can answer that by looking at the S&P 500. Nasdaq 100 is a basket of 100 non-financial companies. So think a lot of big tech names. So same thing, Nvidia, Apple, Meta, Microsoft, Amazon, Alphabet, all in there, right? Tesla as well. Okay, so that's in a NASDAQ 100, the group of 100 stocks measured by this one NASDAQ 100 stock index. Okay, cool. But like we promised in the description, there's still plenty of action around there, right? So we mentioned earlier, gold is punching up higher. We'll see if it can actually break through and hit a new record high next week or potentially even by tomorrow, right? So that's a gold chart for you right there. Elsewhere, you look at silver. That I mentioned in the description for this video, right? You've got silver that's just been hitting new record highs after new record highs basically every day since late November. So almost every day of this month, except for a few, here, it's been a new record high. Okay, so clearly there are other assets that are popping up. Right here, you don't believe me? Let me show you another one. How about this? Tesla yesterday just posted a new record high. In fact, earlier today as well, right? Hitting a new record high. Again, these are the 1 day time frames. That means each of these candlesticks represents how Tesla stock has performed in one single day. I kind of zoomed out because I wanted to show you that this is the first, or yesterday was the first time Tesla stock hit a new record high this year, right? Its last record high was all the way back on December 18th when it was at $488.29. Today it went up to as high as $495.63, right? So those who had ridden this big wave from March, remember March and April, markets were really afraid about what President Trump's tariffs could do to the global economy and for automakers like Tesla. But since then, it's been a bumpy ride. But those who held on from March to April until now, right, clearly rewarded. I think even just from the November until now, these gains here from this November trial, that's about 30%, right? So in fact, let me try and get you some live numbers here. I know US markets, the cash session won't open for another 12 minutes, but I want to see how much Tesla has risen. Well, year to date, it's only 21%, but because it started the year up here, so from the beginning of the year to here, it's about over 20%. But just from here to here alone, I think it's about 30%. Does that number make sense? Or maybe not, maybe about 20% actually, sorry, because you go from about $400 to about 480, 490, right? But still a big jump here. Okay. Certainly a much bigger jump if those who have bought Tesla from back in March and April, right? So long story short, new record high for Tesla just literally overnight, even today. Now, in case you didn't know, right, you're asking, well, why is Han showing all these random charts? Because Bybit is all about cryptos, right? Well, no, not really, because just earlier this year, in case you missed it, Bybit launched its TradFi products. That's TRADFI, short for traditional finance, aka TradFi. Okay, and you can find them all if you're using the Bybit web trading platform. Just hover over the top left hand corner. You got this hamburger menu here. I'll zoom in again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And let's see. Yeah, we can hover in, and then you can see TradFi is one of the tabs, or you can just type in whatever you want, right? Like Nvidia, and then you've got the Nvidia stocks there, or Apple, whatever all these big names, right? So you do have TradFi products like US stocks, CFDs, like gold, oil, stock indices that I showed you earlier, currency pairs, euro dollar, euro GBP, right? All that kind of stuff. So all that is within the TradFi space, just launched earlier this year. So make sure you go check them out as well. Plenty of opportunities across TradFi, while the crypto world is still kind of sluggish and trying to find meaningful conviction to move either one way or the other. Okay, remember a big event coming up on January 15th. I'll tell you more about it at the start of the new year. But Tesla hitting a new record high. Here's something else. Okay, if you click on the info tab, right? Now, of course, if you're using the Bybit app, Right now, you can just there's a search bar across the top. You can just type in whatever asset you want, and it'll show up there. Okay, but just so you know, also for these big name stocks, right, you can essentially trade them practically 24 hours a day, 5 days a week. Okay, how do we know this? You click on the info tab, and it'll show you the local time. I'm here in Dubai, right? So this is all Dubai time. So if you look on any given weekday, it starts from midnight till 1:59 a.m. Takes about a 2 minute break, comes back online 2:01 a.m. all the way till 11:59 p.m. Right, then takes a 1 minute break, then starts again midnight the next day. Okay, so essentially 24 hours a day, almost 5 days a week, that you can trade these big name US stocks like Tesla, Nvidia, Apple, the works. Okay, all within Bybit TradFi, which was just launched earlier this year. Okay, yeah, Tesla hitting a new record high, like I mentioned earlier. Well done there. Silver, for those of you who missed out, new record high as well, basically every day this month. So we'll also look at Euro. What else can we show you? Yeah, Euro GBP, right? If the chart loads, right? So yesterday it fell, but today more than basically erasing all of its declines from yesterday. We had drawn these targets from last Friday. Don't believe me? Check it out. We have it on our December 12th live stream, available on YouTube and also on X, right? These are our, let me just uh, tidy up our text here. Okay, so I can show you the social media handle. So again, on YouTube, we are Bybit Learn Official. Make sure you check that out. That's the name of our channel. And then click on the Learn tab, or on X, it's at Bybit_Learn. In fact, let me add that instruction on the tab on live tab. Let's see if that makes it better, clearer for you guys. Right, so that's how you find us across our socials, right? So again, Bybit Learn Official, that's the name of our YouTube channel. If you're watching this now, great, send me some love, share a comment. Even if you're watching this after the fact, after the live stream is ended, by all means, reach out to us on X, and that's Bybit_Learn. I'm more responsive there, but for this live stream, you can reach out on YouTube as well. Okay, so yeah, we have all of these lines, 0.8840 and also 0.8700, published from last Friday. That's a target for basically this week and maybe into early next week as well. We'll kind of see whether tomorrow's events are big enough to send it one way or the other. Okay. So that's Euro GBP. Tomorrow we've got a big day. Any other charts that you guys want to see, you guys can let me know. Let me see. Euro dollar. Okay, fine. Yeah, we can look at euro dollar. This is the world's most traded currency pair. Yesterday it hit its highest level since late September. Yeah, so almost a 3-month high that it reached yesterday. But then right now tumbling down a little bit because you got the US dollar that's kind of rebounding there. So remember, yeah, when euro dollar is going up, that means the euro is strengthening against the US dollar. Let me repeat. Euro dollar going up, that means the euro is getting stronger against the US dollar. If euro dollar is going down like it is today, that means the dollar is getting stronger than the euro, or the euro is weaker against the US dollar. Hence, euro USD going down. Okay, cool. So I think today I think markets are not really making any big moves right now. That's Japanese yen. I've already shown you Tesla hitting a new record high. Johnson Johnson also hit a record high earlier yesterday. Earlier this week, but then fell back down yesterday, right? So we had highlighted this stock even from early November already, right? And look at how much more it's risen. So did you miss out? Let me know in the comments, right? Markets never sleep, although sometimes it is quite listless, like Bitcoin right now. Although it is trying to erase all of its declines from today. This is a Bitcoin daily time frame, daily candlesticks erasing there. But again, it's been kind of moving sideways over the past month or so. Yeah, since November 21st, or really since mid-November till now mid-December. Okay, cool. So I think we'll kind of keep it short. Now, don't forget, tomorrow's live stream will start earlier than usual at 1 p.m. GMT, because we do have the like we mentioned, a big Thursday ahead. Get ready. You can find this on today's daily bits for you just joining. We mentioned, right, some of the stocks that are just really popping up higher. Gold back above 4,300. Silver, new record high. Like I showed you on the charts earlier, stock Tesla, new record high, right? Some rebounds in oil and S&P 500, while Bitcoin is just kind of muddling away along with other major cryptos and altcoins and digital assets. But again, Thursday, I think all eyes will be on this. Yeah. So don't say we didn't warn you, right? If you see a big move in, this will be mainly in FX, right? Gold might have to wait until the CPI, but we'll just start that live stream at 1 p.m. UTC tomorrow and bring you all the way past 1:30 p.m. UTC just to see how markets react to the CPI. Could be a big one. At least we are giving you a heads up, or it could be a non-event, just like yesterday's non-farm payrolls, because markets are aware that this is delayed data that should have been released months ago or weeks ago. Oh, actually, CPI is okay. Actually, this is the November CPI, not too far off its usual release date. But a lot of it is noisy because this data covers a time or was delayed because of the U.S. government shutdown. Okay, but no worries. If you're kind of confused, feel free to ask me any questions, or feel free to reach out to us at our X. Handle at bybit_learn. I'm more than happy to kind of help guide you through this. And of course, keep tuning into these live streams that we do every weekday. And we'll be more than glad to help guide you through markets. Not financial advice, but just trying to hopefully give you information and learnings that you can take with you to make better informed decisions across global financial markets. Now, beyond the learnings, we also have more to offer you, and that is your share of 25,000 USDT in rewards. We have been giving these away since we started the live stream back in November. These daily live streams, and we've only got maybe, I can tell you this, it will not be available past the end of this year, maybe even past the end of this week, right? Is once it's gone, it's gone. I think we have timed it pretty nicely, with Christmas coming around the corner, but we still got a few more to give. To be clear, it's not all 25,000 to you, but if you register and sign up for a new Bybit account, you can get your share of 25,000 USDT in rewards. What do you have to do? Scan this QR code on the screen, or you can just click on the link below in the YouTube description, or you can also click on the link in our X post for these live stream, for this particular live stream, or any live streams really. And again, our social media handles, right? It's at bybit_learn for X. Again, it's at bybit_learn, or search for Bybit Learn Official on YouTube and tap on the live tab. Okay, now let me remove that. There we go. Or you can scan on this QR code, sign up for the new Bybit account. Those of you who are new users, and you can get your share of 25,000 USDT in rewards. Now, if you're a Bybit OG user, don't worry. Do the same thing. Scan the QR code or tap on the link below on YouTube or on X, because then you will go over to this page. Oh, wrong page, not that page, this page, right? Because you can then be in the running for a further 5,000 USDT prize pool. Now, sorry, I should clarify. When I say further, that's for the new users. So new users, you can get your share of 25,000 USDT in rewards, and a further 5,000 after you have completed the whole process of signing up. Excuse me. But for the Bybit OG users, you can still be in the running for this separate 5,000 USDT prize pool. How do you get your share? Well, scroll on down and we'll tell you. Okay, there are all these different tasks that you can complete. So from trading a spot product to depositing to inviting friends, or even submitting your documents, or try out our earn product or our bots, or even just engaging with our content, right? Read an article like I showed you earlier. Then you see a pop-up, you get points earned. Post your own article, add a comment, or share it on social media. All of these can entitle you to points, and you can then stack yourself up against these guys, all 25 pages of them, who have taken advantage of this exciting campaign. Let's see the first page of winners. Yeah, they've gone up to like, excuse me, in the hundreds there. All right, cool. We are past the bottom of the hour. I'm losing my voice, as you can tell. So yeah, don't forget, yeah, join me tomorrow, 1 p.m. GMT, for a live look at how markets are reacting to the European Central Bank rate decision and also the US CPI inflation data release. And we'll watch markets react live. Okay, thank you so much, and I'll